Hello students, good morning to all of you. Welcome to this class. Today we start the new unit as per your book, that is unit 3rd. That chapter name is producer behavior and supply, and that is that we start production function. How do we do production functions? Before we start the production functions, we should know that what is productions. What is productions? We have already known there are 4 factors of production: land, labor, capital, and organization or the entrepreneurs. These are the 4 factors of productions. So land, labor, capital, and organization or entrepreneurs. By using all these, the finished goods which are to be produced, that is called the productions. Whenever farmer produces that output, like wheat, he or she may use the different factors of inputs like seeds, different kinds of fertilizers, or we may say that different kinds of raw materials. The farmer used in the process of production to produce the finished product, that is the product is wheat for that farmers. So whenever the farmer is producing the wheat, he may use the different kinds of factors of inputs. That using of the factors of input, the producer produces the output. So here I am written here, production is the transformation of input into output. Production is the transformation of inputs into outputs. It means the inputs are like land, labor, different kinds of raw materials. By using this type of various inputs, the farmers produces the wheat. So wheat is to be called that here the output for the farmers. So there are so many producers, they are producing the different kinds of outputs. The production here refers not only to physical goods like wheat, cloth, watches, cycles, etc., but also to the production of services. Each firm produces the goods and services by making use of various factors of production. These are land, labor, capital, and organization or the entrepreneurs. So whenever we say that output, it means output is the one kinds of product which is produced by various using of the various inputs. So inputs may be land, inputs may be labor, input may be the different kinds of raw materials, etc. So we may say that these are the functional relationship. There is the functional relationship between physical inputs and output. There is the functional relationship between physical input and outputs. There is the functional relationship between physical inputs and outputs. So in other words, output can be called function of inputs. In mathematical forms, we may write here that Q is the productions, which is the functional relationship F1, F2, F3 like F2 dot n. Q stands for quantity of commodities or output. Q stands for quantity of commodity or output. Q stands for quantity of commodity or output. F for the functional relationship. And F1, F2, F3 like this. These are the different kinds of physical inputs. Different inputs. Land, labor, capital, raw materials we are using. By using this produce we will create that is the quantity of commodities. That is called the functional relationship between the physical inputs and outputs. It means F1, F2, F3 are the functional inputs. F1, F2, F3 are that stands for the different factors of inputs. F1, F2, F3 are the different factors of the inputs. So, production function with the functional relationship between the physical inputs and outputs. So what is the production function? The production function is the relationship between physical inputs and outputs. To simplify, let us assume that there is only two factors, labor and capital. If there are only two factors, one is L for labor and K for is the capital. L for labor and K for capital. So Q will be the Q equal to function of K and L. If only there are two factors, that is labor and capital, then this is called the functional relationship in between the labor and capital and quantity of output. This is called the production functions. So production function is the functional relationship between physical inputs and outputs. Remember it, there are some features of the production functions whenever the factors of production or inputs are substituted for one another in the production of inputs are used in the process of the productions. Similarly, there are some factors of production which are the complementary, and there are some factors which we require it combines, that is the combinations of the inputs largely determine the time periods. When we are saying the time period, this time period is divided into two parts, short run and long runs. Short run and long run production functions. Next we start the short run and long run production functions. Short run, long run production functions. What is short run or what is the long run? One is the short run or it is called short period. Another is long run or it is called the long period. We are discussing for the time period is concerned, production function, time period is concerned. One is short run or short period, another is the long period. What is to be called the short period? Dear students, when the producer produces the outputs, he may use the different factors of input. So there is the some factor input which are to be continuously changed, and which are the some input which are to be fixed. So there are some fixed factor and there are the some variable factors. There are the some fixed factors and there is the some variable factors. What did you say? There is the some fixed factors and there is the some variable factors. What does it mean, that fixed factors and variable factors? During the process of the production, which factor could not be changed, that is to be called the fixed factor. For example, when a farmer is producing the wheat in the 1 acre of land, that 1 acre of land is the fixed. Is the 1 acre of land is the fixed. Because during the process of production, the land cannot be changed. So 1 acre land is to be fixed. The fixed factor, that is my example, is the land. And the variable factor may be changed. That variable factor is the labor. Labor is the variable factors. So whenever there is some fixed factors which is constant, which cannot be changed, these are to be called the fixed factors. And when that some factors are changed, that is to be called the variable factors. So whenever the fixed factor which could not be changed during that period is to be called that short periods. And when all the factors will be changeable, that is called the long periods. So this can be classified. First I will write the meaning of that short period and long periods. Now it is clear meaning of the fixed factors and variable factors. Suppose in the process of the production JK Cement works, that there are some machines which could not be changed during that short period, within a month or 2 months, then that is to be called that fixed factors. Machine is to be called that fixed factors. But labor can be changed. So if we will analyze only 2 factors, labor and land, so land is the fixed factor, labor is the variables. So in our analyzing the production conditions, we are saying that is short period when only one factor is variable and other factors are constant, that is to be called the short period in our analysis. What did I say? In short run, there is all other factors are constant except that one factor. That one factor is variable factor, that is called the short period or short run. And long run is the period when all factors are variable. We will get the sufficient time to change all these variable factors, all the factors. That is why it is to be called the long periods. So what is that short run or short period? It is a time period which is less than to minimum required to bring out the changes in the fixed factors. It is a time period which is less than that minimum required to bring about changes in the fixed factors. It means short run the period or the time period that is less than the minimum required, to bring about changes in the fixed factors. Less than minimum required to change in the fixed factors. Within a night we could not purchase that 1 acre land to 2 acre lands. It is not possible. So that is why it is to be called the fixed factor. Again I repeat, fixed factor is the factor which is the less than the minimum required to bring about the change in the fixed factors. That is called the short run. But long run is the time period where all the factors of production can be changed. Where all the factors of production can be changed. This is that short run period, this is that long run period. Short run or long run. Where the time period so short, the factors cannot be changed. Here the time period is so long, all the factors will be changed. That is why it is to be called the long periods. So output can be increased by changing the quantity of variable factors. Here, in this case, in our analysis, all the factors are fixed except one factor. Means one factor is variable, all other factors are constants. So far the production is concerned. Whenever the production is going on, all other factors are fixed except the one factors, or one factor is variable, other factors are fixed. In my example, if the labor is variables, land is to be fixed, or how much crores of rupees are to be spent, that must be the fixed. So only one factor is variable, all other factors are fixed. This is to be called that returns to factor. We will analyze what is the returns to factors. That is the law of variable proportions. That we will analyze later on. Law of variable proportions. That is the returns to factors. So classification of factor in field of production is concerned. One factor is variable, other factor is constant. But in long run, all factors are variables. All factors are variables. This is called the difference between short run and long runs. In that short period, demand plays the dominant role in the determination of price of the commodities. Where is that demand plays the important role for the determination of price. Demand plays a dominant role in the determination of price. Demand plays an important role or dominant role in the determination of price of commodities. It means if demand increases, at that time only we can increase our production by increasing more and more labor. All other factors are helping. One factor is variable, that is, this is the labor. Then by changing this labor, we can increase our outputs as per the demand. So demand plays the dominant role in the determination of the price of the commodities. On the other hand, in the long time period, that is, the supply plays the dominant role in the determination of the price of the commodities. It means in the long period, supply can be adjusted according to any change in the demand. So demand and supply play equal role in the price and determinations. Here, in the fixed short run periods, demand plays the dominant role in the determination of the price of the commodities. But here, in the long period, supply plays the important role, and to determine the price, the demand and supply both are the play important role for the determination of the price. This is the difference between short run or long run or short period, long period in that production process or in the factors of the productions. In this chapter, we will discuss only that short period, not that long period. We will discuss only short run, not that long run. So we may conclude here. Short run is a period or short period which is only one factor is variable, all other factors are constants. Our analysis in this chapter will be based on only one factor is variable, all other factors are constants. It means if I will say that labor, which is that one variable factor, all other factors like land, machines, buildings, etc., raw materials, etc., are to be the fixed factors. In our analysis in this chapter, one factor will be variable, that is the labor, and all other factors will remain constant, that is to be called the short run period or short run. So it may be noted that the distinction of time does not refer to the calendar period, say a year or a month or a week, etc. The period is rather than functional concept, because a farmer needs to produce that wheat, he may take that 6 months, but one industrialist, he may take to increase that productions, to install the machines, etc., he will take that long period. When a farmer takes the loan for that 1 year, but industrialist takes the loan for the 5 years, 10 years, like this, like that steel plant, 3 months or 6 months is nothing for themselves. So that in our analysis, whenever we are discussing that short period means that only one factor is variable, all other factors remain constants. So we will discuss now concepts of product. Concepts of products. Now you are clear about the short run and long run. Now we will discuss the concepts of products. What do you mean by concept of products? Concepts of product. CONCEPTS, concepts of product. Concepts of products. We will discuss first concept is that total physical product. First one, total physical product, or it is called the TPP, or total product. Total physical product or total products. In short, it is to be called the TPP. Total physical product or total products. We have already known production or output implies the amount of goods produced by the firm during a given period of time. Product or output implies the amount of goods produced by a firm during a given period of time. It means a farmer, whenever he is producing the wheat, it implies that the amount of goods what he is producing, that is in a given period of times. Similarly, an industrialist, whenever he is producing the output, it implies that the amount of goods produced by a firm during the given period of times. So with regard to this production concept, we have classified in this context there is the three types of product. One is the total physical product or total product, another is the marginal product, and third one is the average products. So we'll discuss in this chapter, in this concept of the product. One is the total physical product, another is the marginal product, and third one is the average product. What do you mean by total physical product? Total physical product refers to the total amount of goods produced by a firm with the given inputs during the specified period of times. Again I repeat, what is the total physical product or total product? Total physical product refers to the total amount of goods. Total amount of goods. Suppose wheat is produced by a farm. Farmer is producing the wheat. The total amount of goods which is produced by a farm with a given inputs, with a given inputs. Inputs may be the land, inputs may be the raw materials, etc. With a given inputs. So whenever the input is given, what the total amount of goods are produced by a farm during the specified period of times. The time may be the time period may be for the farmer 3 months, 6 months, or week, etc. So that is to be called the total physical product. It means total physical product also define the total quantity of goods produced by a farm with given inputs during that specified period of times. That is called the total physical products. It means when a farmer using that land and raw materials, and he is by using this land and raw materials, what amounts of wheat physically he is producing, that is called the total physical product or the total product. Again I repeat, what is the total physical product or total product? Total physical product or total product refers to the total amount of goods, total amount of goods produced by a farm with a given inputs at a specified period of times. Three things: total amount of goods. For example, suppose wheat is produced. Who is produced? That is by farmers. In a case, maybe that farm with the given inputs. The given inputs is that land, raw materials, etc. These are the inputs. So whenever the farmer is using these inputs, he may produce that wheat during that specified period of time, 3 months, 6 months, etc. That is to be called the total physical product or total product. So it is that physical product because the products are visible. Because the products are visible. With the given inputs during the specified period of time, the total physical product corresponding to each set of inputs, as the quantity of input is increased. It means the quantity of input, whenever it is increased, then he will increase his variable factors. That we will analyze in the later on. So what is the total physical product is now concerned. You are clear about the total physical products. Similarly, another is that average physical products, or that second one, average physical products. Before we discuss the total physical product, I will give that also some numerical examples which can be explained. You are clear that total physical product equal to, there is a formula which I will discuss later on. Total physical product equal to summation of marginal physical product. or total physical product equal to average physical product, or it is to be called that average product. Total physical product is to be called that total product. Average physical product is equal to that average products. Likewise, we have already known total utility equal to summation of marginal utility. Similarly, here is the total physical product equal to summation of marginal physical product. I will give that example also. And another formula is that total physical product into average equal to average physical product into n. N is the number of quantities that to be used. This is also one formula. I will discuss later on with that numerical examples. What is the total physical product with regard to that marginal product and that average physical products. So one table it can be explained both these product, average physical product, marginal product and total products. Thank you.